So guys, bomb in here. Yes, sir. You got the motorcycle today? Here's the motorcycle. Looks got a bright ass high beam on. Motorcycle. Every time when I get to this spot, usually it's coming behind me. You know, but I'll probably, because I started to record again because I didn't think I was going to get my synchronicities. Oh, they got two bikes today. Look, runs the red light. Look what color it is too. Run the red light every time, bro. Shit crazy, man. It's crazy how a nigga literally stuck in Truman shit. All day, every day, you see the same thing. You notice how the car's still sitting there. The other bikes are going past. Are they going to run the red light too? Yep, they're above the law. Oh, no. Oh, they're not above the law. Oh, shit. They're not above the law. Oh, nope, they're above the law. They're above the law. Damn. Must be nice to do whatever you want to do. There we go. Every time. There's the motorcycles I was looking for. See that bullshit? Every time I get off the bus, I get to this vicinity, they got bikes running the red light. They hit me at the one headlighter when I get off and everything. I'm gonna put those two. Oh, they actually going heavy with the bikes. They're going heavy with the bikes, huh? Damn, it's bike day. Oh yeah, it is warm outside. That UAV radiation was hot as hell today, so it makes sense. Is he above the law too? Oh no, he's not above the law. Yeah, he's not above the law. Okay. Normal civvy. It's funny how these people are above the law, bro. Running through their it's the arms folded guy. No, somebody else. Oh no, it is her. He just didn't have his arms folded today. That's interesting. But you see how everyone, I don't know if I really caught out. I wasn't paying to the camera, sorry. See how all these people walk past you, the same intervals, same spots, looking down. You know, they literally got me in zombie land. I got you Freemasons mad, don't I? You trying to break my mind that bad, huh? Where you got me a 24/7 Truman Show? You know, it's just so funny too that these two buses that I catch to come to work, you know, sometimes I'll get here at 11 o'clock, sometimes I'll get here at 11:20, you know, but you get off, I always get hit with the bikes, the one head symbolism or the one headlight synchronicity, you know, the motherfuckers going through the red light every time, bro. I'm telling you, bro, it's like I just don't even know what to say anymore. I can tell you one thing, you know, even though normal civilians, you know, ain't gonna believe me, I make these videos for the TIs and these perps to show y'all the amount of effort they'll put into one person when everything they do to you don't work anymore. You know, now they start doing illegal terroristic, you know, actions, doing things where they're above the law, you know. Acting like they're gonna turn to you. I don't know, I'll probably try to clip some of them. Like, I got a bunch of videos I record, but I don't upload. But I make them for my own documentation to see how desperate they get. You know, they had a car, even when I was when I was going to work, when I came out my building, had a car acting like it was about to turn in front of me across the street. You know, I was recording it. I guess he probably noticed I was recording. Didn't have his headlights on to turn or nothing. And then as soon as I guess he changed his mind. I don't know what it was. But I walked across the street, then he ended up going straight. You know? Acting like they gonna hit you with their car, like, yeah, y'all just fucking pathetic, bro. But I get it. Y'all want me to be scared. You know, I guess if you really was on a sex offender list, or you know, you was a threat to the community, maybe this program is for those type of people to let them know, hey, you fucking did this to a child, or you murdered, or you raped a female, you know. So we're letting you know, even if you're out, you know, you're gonna face judgment, you're gonna face consequences, you know. No criminal record, no history of violence. You can't find nobody in my life that said, hey, he put his hands on me, he touched me. Like, it's crazy how you gotta create something out of nothing, you know? bring people on board. Motherfuckers is paid off to help slander my name. You know, same synchronicities with vehicles. Like, it's pathetic, bro. It's sad. You know? I'm not envious towards people. I don't care what you got. I don't know if the purpose is to I guess, try to scare me or to make me feel bad because I don't have the things y'all have. No, y'all think y'all have the things y'all have for not hard work. I'm not saying that there's people, of course there's people out there who work hard for their things. But when you're dealing as a targeted individual, these people get free things, bro, to fuck with you. You know? You live in life on hard difficulty. You know, just because the government fucking hates you. You know? Real bad people don't get caught. That's one thing I learned about living in this false reality. The evilest people in the world, bro, going to live long, healthy lives, bro, and on their deathbed, they want to tell you all the sick shit that they did. You know? You got people out here in the world who's minding their own business. Oh, they're gonna go turn on that sound. There they go, turning on that sound. I don't know. I really want to know what that shit is, bro. You know, they just started that shit like maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. I've been here working at this job for about a month now, I think. Month, 2 months. You know? Walking across the bridge like the first week and a half working here, didn't hear whatever that sound is. And now every time I come on, they don't have the bright, I noticed they ain't have the bright light either. I guess y'all stopped that tactic today, huh? No one man should have all that power, but apparently we do. To the point where the government got to put us in controlled environments. It's just so much, man. You know. Sorry if I sound like I'm getting on here saying the same thing. You know. Sorry for those agents who's watching me for entertainment. Sorry about that. You know. It is what the fuck it is. Oh, looks like they got the 3 people synchronicity now. Oh, they covering the whole goddamn thing. Oh man. Shiver me timbers. I better not mess with these guys. Oh man. Shit, man. They're making a little room. Oh, a little anxiety I'm feeling right now. Shit, man. A little nervous here, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. What's the reaction I'm looking for this time?
No.
Eye avoiding?
I'm like this.
The head nod? You know? And then you got the dude in the back on the phone, you know? Bullshit. Not saying nothing. Just playing the role. Fucking. Oh, man, dude. Just playing a role. You know, he's just walking like he on the phone, bro. Y'all deserve an Oscar, bro. You know, you acknowledge as soon as I say that, they start to laugh. You know, that's all this shit is about, is intimidation. It's having you feel weak and vulnerable and hurt and scared. Oh, the whole city hates me, man. I should straighten up. Maybe, what should I do? Get on my knees and bow to these people? Fuck you, bro. Fuck you and your goddamn city. Fuck all the people y'all got to participate in harassment. You know what the world I'm waiting for? A lawless world, you know? That's what I'm really waiting for. You know, I feel like there's people out there that say the same thing. But honestly, I really think a motherfucker, y'all not really ready for that type of environment. Y'all like environments like this, where you can harass somebody who's supposedly a monster, you know? In a lawless world, bro, I'll be able to bust heads. Niggas want to follow and stalk me and, you know, treat me like shit. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, fucking I'm the toughest guy around and the same thing wouldn't happen to me, but at least I'd have a right to defend myself. There ain't gonna be technology controlling the world, you know, telling motherfuckers what to do, where to do, what to wear, how to wear it. Like, y'all lame as hell, man. Y'all connected to a beast system that don't even fuck with y'all, that don't even love y'all. You know, y'all together to torment people. But what happens when the same people y'all paying off, the same devilish people who you ain't got money to control these individuals with, you know? Who do you think they really gonna attack? Especially when half these devils know that you're not doing nothing, you an innocent motherfucker, but niggas is really getting paid $1 to participate in your harassment, you know? When shit hits the fan, what y'all think's gonna happen? These people gonna turn on each other like the animals they are. You know, gang stalkers don't like gang stalkers. They don't like each other. They only come together for the same purpose, to get money. You know, just like I constantly hear in the indirect subliminals when I'm around old heads and shit. I get on the bus, you know, hear the same indirect subliminals. Oh, here we go. We're making that dollar. Making a few extra bucks. You know? What happens when this society fall, bro? You think the same people that have been paying you out to torture people, you think they're going to help y'all? You think they're going to help defend y'all? You know, wait till the dark ages hit. And it's going to be in this lifetime. This world's going to continue to go on forever. But I'll tell you what the end is. It's the end of this system. It's crumbling right before your very eyes. And y'all can't even see it. Well, some of these perps are goddamn, y'all too, like, yeah, it's like y'all too connected to the program. Y'all don't even see what's happening around worldwide. Y'all don't care about what's going on worldwide. As long as you getting money in your pockets, as long as you feeding your family, it's all right. You know, it don't matter what lies and, you know, whose lives y'all destroy, whatever the case may be. You know, people who upheld this system during this duration. You know, it's gonna be so funny, bro. Like, whether I live to see it or not, it's gonna be so funny when people like remember these videos and they're going through pure chaos in this lifetime, bro. When they see the martial law hit, they see the destruction, the collapse. You know, I hope y'all know this is it. You know, it's just a slow burn. You know, but if you pay attention, if you look around the world to see what's going on, you can see that everything's collapsing. You know. If you pay attention to the food in your stores and everything, you'll notice. If you really look at it, you'll see that as whole. You know. You know, and it's like I know my purpose, man. You know, whether people want to admit or not, I'm here to remind the people that you have mental fortitude, you got strength. You know. Despite what people want to say about you, the power, we always had the power, you know? And, you know, it's sad to say because they even show you that through, you know, predictive programming, you know, destruction. You know, the only way y'all truly going to come together is when this world fall, bro. And that's just what it is, T.I. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to deal with this until society, you know, falls, you know? Until this system crashes. That's when you're going to, you know, that's when you're going to experience the end of your harassment. You know, or unless, you know, you somehow made a way to get money in your pocket, you know, thousands of dollars, you know, go create your land and, you know, you got your shit off the grid somewhere, you know, props for the ones who really made it, you know, to that extent, you know, to that lifestyle, you know, props to you, you know. You know, let me sit right here. They're going to keep driving down with the bright high beams on me, you know. Let me just sit this way, you know. And how desperate they be going, then they start flickering the headlights and shit. You know, I really hate to sound toxic, but I really hope the real ones can see through my attitude when it comes to dealing with this. You know, just put you. I don't. You know, I would kind of. I think myself to be a good-hearted person. You know, I have empathy for people. You know, I care when I see people struggling. You know, I care when, you know, I see people really in need. You know, I acknowledge that shit. Oh, we got the groups of three. They got everybody walking today with the red-blue synchronicities. Gotta love it, you know. You know, just be quiet. Just let them, you know, go on about the day. You know, got the groups of three. You know, got the red, got the blue, red dress, blue shirt. You know, groups of three in the middle. You know, bullshit. You know, it's like, and I don't even mean to be toxic when it comes to that type of behavior, but as a TI, you start to recognize that wherever you go, yeah, every day you step outside, everyone you see, you know, it might not be as it seems, you know, but when you build up a repetition or a habit of, you know, either going to a direction of work, if you like me, I get here like damn near an hour early, so I like to sit and chill outside, you know, until it's time for me to go in, you know. You know, these people build a schedule around you, you know, and you just know when you see certain things and the way people's movements and behavior is, and also synchronizing with you as well, you start to see it's all calculated, you know. You know, Literally, they get up above me. You hear chops. y'all some cowards, bro. That's one thing I can attest to, bro. Y'all can call me all the bitches y'all want, bro. Y'all need a whole army to fuck with me every day. You know, if I'm really, and I grew up on that street moral, bro. Like I grew up like in the streets, like I was cool with the gangbangers and shit, but niggas recognize me, bro. Like I was the type of person to be cool with everybody, and I chose to hang out with the gamers or, you know, the nerds. That was my group, and nigga, I sit and chill with the jocks, the gangbangers, the shooters. You know, I was cool with I just had that type of energy, and that's why I know dealing with this program, y'all want to isolate me. Y'all want to. Instead of my energy being able to express itself and be free, y'all seek to control that. You know, y'all constantly have people around me that's like trying to, you know, induce fear or intimidation or, you know, psychologically torment me on a level that only I can understand, you know. And this is no different to, you know, whether you believe in the Bible or, you know, the spiritual community. I'm exposing a program that's worldwide, bro. You know, you asking yourself, you're wondering why there's crazy people a thing, you know? Yeah, I'm not saying there's crazy people that had an accident or, you know, had some type of accident or like, you know, born with it but there's people out there that deal with some type of mass harassment, bro, mass hysteria, if you would call it that, you know, and warping their minds, warping their perspective of reality. Really, you're just in a demonic location, bro, where these people find it entertaining and fulfilling to watch other people suffer and watch other people, you know, minds break, you know, succumb. You really got to be a strong individual to go through this level of harassment and deal with it for years on end, you know. You really got to be a strong motherfucker. Fuck the indirects and the subliminals you hear all day. Coward, weak, soft, bitch, blah, blah. They just trying to get a reaction out of you so, you know, you can end up in jail and, you know, end up doing the same bullshit that they got to do, you know? And I say all the time, I don't claim to be no hard-ass nigga. And, you know, I took fighting lessons, you know, I know how to defend myself, you know, but I'm not out here trying to look for problems, bro. I don't care about showing, oh, I'm the top dog and all that. No, I'm past that level of my life. When are we going to express ourselves through intelligence, you know? Why are we acting like animals the way they want us to act like animals? Even if you deal with this program, it's very animalistic. You know, y'all call yourselves civilized. Y'all call yourselves, you know, doing a moral right thing when really it's far from it, bro. Y'all really doing something demonic, something very evil. You know, breaking the human mind. Like I'll be glad for just taking a bullet in the head if I'm really a monster, you know? If I'm really deserving to get harassed by a whole community. It's like, okay, like that's what I was going to get into before they walked past, you know. I have that hood mental compass. Like if somebody's known for touching children or raping a female or killing somebody, get that motherfucker up out of here, bro. Get that motherfucker up out of here. But even experiencing this harassment, and TIs, you can attest to this, you start to learn everything that they're projecting you as is the motherfuckers they have around you. It's all psychological, bro. It's really spiritual in a sense. You know, you're dealing with projection. You're dealing with people trying to turn you into something that you're not, playing with your mind, you know? This is why I practice deep meditation. You know, motherfuckers can sit there and say, oh, they see what I do all day. You know, he's in the room. You know, they hear my game going off. I hear people walking past my door. Oh, he's playing the game again. You know, it's fucking pathetic. But really, I'm always meditating. You know, a lot of times I got to remember to not get on here and be emotional. You know, that's my problem. I understand I need to have a balance of, you know, masculine and feminine. I kind of live in that way. But a lot of times, you know, I be more on the feminine energy when expressing myself when it comes to this torment, because it's so much, man. You know, a lot of times I can't even really say, you know, the things that I'm dealing with all in one video because it's just so much, bro. Like, it's so much from the time I step foot out the door, you know. Same faces, same people, you know, no one really saying hi or greeting, you know, niggas just staring at you side-eye, cars slamming doors, revving engines, you know, people entering or walking out the store as I'm getting to a certain store that I frequently visit, you know, flash mob crowd of people inside the store, you know, walking. If I'm sitting outside, I see the same dog walkers coming out. Like, I could wake up, right? I could wake up, go to a park in the morning, 8 a.m., see the same frequency give dog walkers. See a dude, when a black dog come out, then he leaves. Then a lady with a white dog with spots come out, and then another lady come out with a pit bull. And then I can like wake up the next day, go at 3 p.m. or whatever the case may be, and then see the same frequency of people. The dude come out, you know, then the 2 ladies come out. It's sick, bro. You know, they got me in a controlled environment. You know, oh, looks like they got the boat light. They got the boat light. I just seen it flash across the thing, so I guess the boat's gonna come this way. Let me ride a boat, or what do you say? Let me drive a boat. I don't know where that big ass light came from. I don't see no boat. I definitely just seen a light flash across the water. You know, even shit like that, you know. Niggas know where you at, niggas know what direction you facing to do some shit like that to distract you. You start making a video. Shout out to the TIs out there who make content. Look, you see the light? I know I'm not tripping. You see the light, you know, as soon as I come back over here, they flash it again. You know, look, up, there it goes. Yep, you see it? You know, wherever direction you facing, bro. Ah, there it is. There it is. There you go. You see him? Come on, face it towards me, buddy. There you go. You're a good boy. You're a really good boy. You know, every time you get over here, you got to see the same boat come over here. Sometimes we'll aim the light at you. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, either way, it's same synchronicities. Hold on. Sorry, I had to fart. I didn't want y'all to hear that. Better out than in, mate. You know, after a while, it just, you know, you start to see who the people with real mental illness is. You know, you start to see who the real crazy motherfuckers is. The fact that they got to control shit like this, boats, helicopters, planes flying above you. Like I really wish, like, in the spiritual community, especially in the black community, because I firmly believe, I ain't gonna say black melanated community, I firmly believe that, you know, yeah, he's definitely trying to distract me with this light, you know, so let's face this way. You know, I firmly believe that, you know, melanated people, we got the connections to the higher realms, bro. And I do believe, I know there's a lot of scammers out there, but I definitely believe in highly spiritual people with high intuition. I really want people to do my reading, bro. I really need to understand why am I experiencing harassment from like a whole city. You know, I really want to know the esoterical reasonings behind that. You know, because I know the internet ain't gonna believe me, and I know I probably sound very narcissistic when I'm sitting there talking about, oh, the whole city's harassing me, the whole city's harassing me. And mind you, and I was a person that traveled life before harassment, so I've been in multiple different states, you know, and it's like, I acknowledge how everywhere is different, you know. I experienced the hive-minded cities, you know. I've been to a little community where it's like, nigga, as soon as you move in, you got motherfuckers coming to your door talking about, hey, you just moved in? You know, I've been to communities like that, bro, so I know the feeling, you know. But this shit, what I'm dealing with, it's it's a sacrifice. My family sold me out, you know. And it's like, I know in the beginning of my harassment, I was, seeing the same synchronicities and shit, and it was very easy to read, you know. You know, dealing with somebody like me, I made a lot of videos. If you've been watching me for like the 5 years I've been on YouTube, you know, you've seen how I made the videos, you know, literally talking about, oh, watch. I used to label the videos, call it before it happened. Like, I would literally call out somewhere, I'll leave at different times of the day, still walking through wherever I'm walking, and literally call shit out. Like, oh, this person's about to hit this corner, or this lady's about to walk across the intersection. You know, like, I call shit out like that so many times. And see, me, I'm a person, I was driving when I was in Atlanta, but since I've been in Pittsburgh, I had a car my first year. And I noticed when I was dealing with the harassment at Whitehall places, I kept dealing with my tires being slashed. So I haven't had a vehicle since, you know, so, and I had that shit for a good 5 months, you know. It wasn't a long time, but, you know, I was noticing, you know, my car being entered in, and my tire started to be slashed almost every other week. So, you know, I just said, fuck it, there's no point in me getting a vehicle, you know, for all the perps or the flying monkeys who's in my harassment talking about some using indirects and subliminals about, you know, what you think I should do with my life, you know, come on, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Y'all don't know the half of it. Y'all don't know how it's not about, you know, me getting better and wearing better clothes. You know, I didn't experience all that shit. Even when buying new clothes, and I get on that little spree where I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, let me get some outfits for myself. You know, turn around, have random holes in your shirts and your pants. Like, come on, man. Stop acting like this is something where y'all are trying to push me to be better. Yeah, in a normal reality, I do believe, you know, tough love. You know, I believe in that. You know, they help you get better. But I'm not dealing with that, bro. I'm dealing with something that's meant to destroy me, and the government's behind it. You know, the FBI, all these three-letter word organizations, they're all behind it, man. You know, it's the only way to really explain how it's such on a mass level. You know, to the point where it's like I said before, it's literally mass hysteria, bro. Is what I'm dealing with. You know. So, you know, even so the melanated brothers and sisters who participate in my harassment, it's not, I'm bummy this, or I wear the same clothes this, because it don't matter, bro. It don't matter. Like the things that I experienced, new shoes, getting new shoes in this city, you know, always, bro. And I've never dealt with this before I came to Pittsburgh. But whenever I do get new shoes, like a month past, bro, they already got holes in the bottom of it. Like name brand shoes. Like I got me a couple of Jordans and everything. I just stopped. You know, I stopped buying shit like that. So now, you know, I wear shit like this, you know, these Walmart shoes, and I wear them until, you know, the soles fall off. And I had these for about a good year now, still holding up. But I'll buy some Jordans and, you know, wear them like maybe a week, like 7 times, you know, wear them a week. And then out of nowhere, you know, fucking out of nowhere, yo, the sole will start to come off, you know, the holes at the bottom of the shoe just appear out of nowhere. Like, oh man, what the fuck is this? Is this a military boat? What the hell is this? Nah, that's, I don't know, what, they got something different on there. That looks kind of weird. Look, see how the light facing my direction? Bam. As soon as he hit the corner, bam. Hello. Hello, you see this? See that? That's for you, buddy. Yeah, that's for you. See that? Can you see? You see this? Can you see this light? Yeah, that's for you, buddy. You know, spit on it, rotate it, you know, shove it up your ass, you know? If you go back to the very beginning videos, you know, when I be calling this shit out, you know, I know the normal civilization gonna find out to be crazy or weird, but I did the same thing before. I can't remember which video it is, but, you know, forgive me, but it's like when I started to make videos again after I deleted my massive videos, but, you know, I made the same thing, how this nigga was flickering the boat light everywhere, and then when he passed by this location, he did the same thing, had the light facing my direction. You know, and notice how he's still rotating it to where I'm at. Shit crazy, bro. Literally deal with the most psychotic warfare. I mean, y'all really show me, man, how one person can turn the city upside down, bro. One man, bro, minding his own business, doing what he got to do to survive every day, and dealing with threat assessments, you know. Cops acting like they building a case on me, like I'm fucking trafficking people, or I got some empire somewhere, bro. Or like I'm one of those sleeper agents. I think I said that in the last video, you know, these niggas call on the phone, doop, 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 doop. Action. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know, you don't never, this open ass street, you don't never hear that shit coming from a distance. Loud engines, you never hear from a distance. Like even now, bro, I'll be opening that motherfucker up. That's how I know I'm living in a controlled environment every time I step outside. You know, look, still got that side light facing my direction though, right? See the things I deal with? See, not naturally, right? If that light was just facing that direction, right? Then going this way, it would have been facing towards the trees, right? Am I tripping? Is my physics off a little bit? But no, it's rotating my direction, you know? Bullshit. Everything I deal with is a distraction, bro. All to throw me off from my videos so I can call out the things we're doing so I can sound a little bit more crazy, you know? It's beyond me, bro, the amount of effort these people put into harassing me. Even these vans right here, you know? I made a video. I used to chill when I was in this shelter or whatever over there on the north hand side across the bridge in Pittsburgh. I used to sit over there and chill, right? And there was this white transportation vans. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They come pick up old folks. I noticed me sitting outside. You know, I think that I recorded a video where I was sitting over there too. It's like the open grass field or whatever. It's real nice, you know. But you know, I stayed over. Like once I stayed over there for like they saw I was keep going over there for about maybe two weeks or whatnot. I didn't see no presence of those white transportation buses, and then all of a sudden they just started to flood like on the street that sit behind me, and them niggas was all day, bro, up and down. Every time I look inside, bro, there's literally no one ever in there, and it was like the same two drivers. You know, even with this, I didn't notice those purple design. I said that to say this, but even the same thing with this. The first week or whatnot, I came over to this job. I didn't notice the lights with the bows. I didn't notice the people walking across the bridge when I'm walking across the bridge. I didn't notice those transportation buses either, you know. And, you know, after like a couple of weeks went by, you know, I start seeing them, you know. So TIs, you know, you're definitely dealing with government shit, bro. You know, they tell all type of security guards, cops, people who drive vehicles to always synchronize with you, you know. Always. It's sad. It's very sad that it's like that. But it is what it is, man. Now, I go back to what I said before. What are we spiritually? Due to the fact that every day we step foot outside, bro, it's 24/7 Truman Show. And you try to speak about it, oh, you're schizophrenic, you're crazy, you know, you're paranoid, you're blah, blah, blah. Things I don't give a fuck about even feeling, you know? You're scared, you know? I understand when it comes to this torment, y'all want me to be scared, y'all want me to be intimidated, but I don't know. Ever since a child, I told myself that I wouldn't live in fear. You know, I watch fucking scary movies and laugh at them. You know, like, I don't know, bro. Like, even when the few times I did encounter death, bro, it's like I had no fear in me, bro. I just figured, hey, it's my time to go, you know? And I could tell when it comes to this program, everybody around me, everybody participating in my harassment, you're controlled by fear, you know? Whether it's because of family or you yourself are just a scared little bitch, it is what it is, you know? Don't fucking make it my fault because I chose not to have kids, you know? I saw how this world was hell, so I didn't focus on that, you know? If I was to have a child in this world, I want to make sure that that child, we're going to be living, it's going to be like animals or whatever, you know? That child going to be raised with his mother and father. Like, I really need to find a strong female, a female that's not afraid to speak her mind, a female that's able to, you know, stand out and, you know, don't care what niggas got to say about you. Like that's the type, I'm looking for that ride or die female. You know, those females that, you know, your grandparents is on, you know? Some of you grandparents literally still together, been together for like, what, 60 years? You know, this generation of people, bro, is everybody fuck buddies. I don't want that, bro. I don't want that shit. I want to be able to walk through a community and niggas be like, damn, bro, I ain't never seen her with anybody else but that nigga. Go ahead, train horn, get it out the way. Yep. Mm-hmm. Get it out the way, buddy. Bullshit, the amount of crap I deal with. You know, but that's what type of female I want to be able to have in my life, bro. Like literally a friend, you know? You know, especially when it comes to these perps and shit, even just this new generation, I never understood why dudes, like, it's like niggas really take that bro before hoes kind of attitude, like, way too much. Like, man, fuck that shit, bro. I want to be with a female. I don't want to be around a bunch of dudes. I don't even want to have dude friends. Like, I really feel like, you know, other females might see, and don't get me wrong, I'm not no clingy ass motherfucker. Go out and do what the fuck you want to do. You know, but I would want a female to understand that at the end of the day, I'm going to protect you. You know, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you're all right. You know, I'm going to make sure you're okay mentally. You know, and I'm going to please you sexually. You know, I don't want to get into that, but, you know, I'm just being real. You know, I'm going to give you everything you need. Anything you want to try, well, hey, we're going to try to make the relationship grow farther, you know? But it's like all this, you know, sneaking around, lying, and just if you want to be a fuck buddy, just let me know. But I'm not. I'm letting you know right now, I'm not into that. You know, sure, you know, test the water, you know, the experience, you know, but I'm really out here trying to build with a female mentally, you know, really understand, really, you know, I don't want to get into it. I feel like it's a different topic for another video, but, you know, at the end of the day, I see myself being with a female, you know, hanging around a female all day, you know, instead of these niggas, you know, oh, I'll hang with the bros and, you know, fuck all that, man. You know, so as you look at animals, bro, these motherfuckers always with their spouse. They ain't with their duck bird friends. All they need is their female, their counterpart, so that they die. You know, that type of relationship, that type of loyalty can only be found in the animal kingdom, bro. If I was to envy anything in this world, bro, it'd probably be that. Animal love, bro. Straight up, bro. Not to sound like no weirdo, just being real, man. You know? Animals, man, it's, man, true love, bro, true value and appreciation for their person, their counterpart, you know. If that had the same reflection in our generation and the human world, you wouldn't see single females everywhere with their kid, you know. So it's obviously females nowadays, y'all look for what's on the outside, y'all don't care about what's on the inside, y'all don't care about growing anymore with your counterpart. Y'all want to find a nigga at the finish line, you know. But the best type of relationships, you know, is the ones that's built from the ground up. You know, when you meet somebody at their lowest. I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying, you know, you don't have to be at your lowest. Y'all can just be at a state where y'all both need to grow and y'all grow together. You know, that's what I believe in. You know, I guess I believe in that Disney love, you know, which is why I'm probably not in a relationship now. You know, but it is what it is, man. I know I'll find that one. Whenever God decides it's time for me to be in a relationship, I will. I just know I got to continue to grow. You know, it just sucks. I'm living life on hard difficulty, and I can't really, you know, grow materialistic or worldly. You know, so I do the one thing I can focus on. You know, growing mentally, dealing with psychological attacks every day, all day, while still trying to live a normal life. These people just worried about bills. these niggas, these peoples in this reality, bro, they just worried about things that this world wants you to focus on. See, this world knows I don't care about the mundane things in this reality. You know, so they gotta add on stress. You know, they gotta add on more bullshit. Look, even me leaving, they got another group of 4. Oh, that's 5. Oh, no, that's 6. Oh, that's 1, 2, 4. Yeah, 4, 5. Just another synchronicity bullshit thing. So, you know, let them get their little few minutes of fame. You know, just look at the synchronicities there. They start talking loud when you get close, you know. Go ahead. All in your face. Bullshit. False reality. You know, that's why, you know, just the human race is, you know, just don't care for it, bro. Y'all very animalistic, bro. You know? Look, and then they start pointing, you know, just weird, man. I don't know how to explain it. If you're a TI, you know. You know, you getting to work, little red car turning at the same time. You know, just a joke. But, you know, that's the end of this video. I want to keep going on. I know I'll go on forever. You know, but, yeah, this is Muhammad. I'm out of here. Make sure y'all stay up and stay high vibrational. And remember, we hold the power, not them. That's why they need a whole army. But I'm out.